tell me how you found Ben's voice?
Yeah, so it was like it was kind of, I mean, it was a work in progress when we started, because I did the audition, and the audition was not specific, like, because they obviously want to kind of keep things under wraps so people don't leak stuff, but it just said like Bear Warrior for the specs, and I was like, okay, so this is like a World of Warcraft thing, I guess, some kind of high fantasy, and it said he uses a pillar, so I'm picturing like, oh, like a kind of barbarian, like, pillar, chains, like that kind of thing. I was like, okay, that's cool. And then it said he was the accountant, and I was like, okay, can't think of a single fantasy thing that has an accountant, but all right, sure. And so, something that I think is really important in voice acting to try and stand out in your auditions is do things or add things to a character that other people maybe won't do. Because, you hear Bear Warrior, everyone's going like, oh, big, gritty, like, tough guy thing. When I saw Accountant, I was like, okay, so he's got to be like some kind of, softy kind of character too. Like, because some of the lines for auditioning were a little more soft too. So, it started with this, hey, how's it going? Like that kind of thing. That's what I auditioned with. And so in the first session, we start kind of going into it. And there was a Hoyo rep there who was like, he was kind of there to like make sure we were getting what they wanted. Yeah. Right. So I start doing some lines, and they're like, okay, those are good, but like, could you do them like the way you did with the audition? And I was like, I thought I was. What do you mean? So I'm sitting there like, what do I do now? Like, I don't know. And they were like, yeah, so the way you did it in the audition, we really like the like gravel in the combat lines, that stuff. And I was like, so that just happens when I scream. And I can't like scream every line, So the director for that part of the game, Michael Schwalbe, he was like, he teaches a metal VO class on like, he's a metal singer. So he teaches these techniques on finding your false chords and using them to scream without like damaging your throat.
Yeah.
So he gave me so much good advice that like totally, in my opinion, it totally saved the character for me. Like, because they wanted that kind of big bear sound in all the lines.
Okay.
And so he taught me how to add in that gravel, and normally I would warm up before the session. To find your false chords, you have to make this sound that's kind of like you're humming, and you hear the resonance